The story of the Seljuk Turks unfolds as one of the most pivotal chapters in medieval history, a tale of nomadic warriors who rose from the vast steppes of Central Asia to become the architects of a new era in the Islamic world. Their journey from obscure tribal origins to imperial grandeur not only redrew the map of the Middle East and Anatolia, but also transformed the cultural, religious, and political fabric of the region, setting the stage for future empires and enduring legacies. The roots of the Seljuk Turks reach deep into the traditions of the Oghuz Turks, a confederation of nomadic tribes roaming the windswept plains near the Aral Sea. These people were shaped by the harsh demands of steppe life, resourceful, resilient, and bound by a culture of mobility and martial prowess. Among these tribes emerged a leader named Seljuk Beg, whose vision and leadership would guide his followers on a fateful migration westward into Transoxiana, an ancient crossroads of civilization straddling modern-day Uzbekistan. This migration was not merely a geographical shift, but a transformation in identity, as the Seljuks encountered the sophisticated societies of Persia and the Islamic world. In the crucible of Central Asia, the Seljuks underwent a profound change. The early 11th century witnessed their conversion to Sunni Islam, a decision that would shape their destiny. By embracing the faith and its institutions, the Seljuks forged a powerful alliance with the Abbasid Caliphate, the spiritual heart of Sunni Islam. This alliance was more than religious. It was political, granting the Seljuks both legitimacy and support in their quest for power. Their conversion marked the beginning of Turkish ascendancy in the Islamic world and set them on a path to empire. The rise of the Seljuk Empire was swift and dramatic. Tughril Beg, the grandson of Seljuk Beg, emerged as a formidable leader, uniting disparate Turkic groups under his banner. Tughril's martial skill and strategic acumen enabled him to challenge and eventually defeat the Ghaznavids, a powerful dynasty controlling much of Iran and Afghanistan. The Battle of Dandanaqan in 1040 was a watershed moment. Tughril's victory shattered Ghaznavid power and opened the doors to Persia. With the Islamic world in flux, Tughril was invited to Baghdad by the Abbasid Caliph, who sought protection from internal strife and external threats. The Caliph crowned Tughril as Sultan, recognizing him as the defender of Islam and granting the Seljuks the mantle of leadership over the Muslim world. Under Tughril's rule, the Seljuk Empire expanded rapidly, encompassing vast territories stretching from Persia and Iraq to the Levant. The Seljuks brought order to lands torn by turmoil, restoring stability and invigorating the institutions of governance. Their rule marked a new era of Turkish dominance, one that would profoundly influence the course of Islamic civilization. The golden age of the Seljuks dawned with the reign of Alp Arslan and his son, Malik Shah. Alp Arslan, a warrior renowned for his courage and tactical brilliance, faced one of the greatest challenges of his time: the Byzantine Empire, a formidable power straddling Europe and Asia. In 1071, the two armies met at Manzikert, in eastern Anatolia. The Battle of Manzikert was not only a crushing defeat for the Byzantines, but a turning point in world history. The gates of Anatolia swung open to Turkish settlement, unleashing waves of migration that would forever reshape the region. Turkish tribes flooded into the heartland of the Byzantine Empire, laying the foundations for what would become modern-day Turkey. The Seljuk Empire reached its zenith under Malik Shah, whose reign was distinguished by both military prowess and administrative genius. Malik Shah's court was a center of culture and intellect, presided over by his visionary vizier, Nizam al-Mulk. Nizam al-Mulk's reforms transformed the empire's administration, introducing the IQTA system, a land grant mechanism that balanced power between the central government and local leaders, ensuring stability and efficient taxation. Under his guidance, the Seljuks founded madrasas, or religious schools, known as nizamiyas, which became bastions of Sunni orthodoxy and centers of learning throughout the Islamic world. This era witnessed a remarkable flourishing of Persian culture. The Seljuk sultans, though Turkic by origin, became patrons of Persian art, literature, and architecture. Court poets and scholars such as Omar Khayyam and Al-Ghazali found fertile ground for their ideas and creativity. Persian became the language of administration and high culture, and the architectural legacy of the Seljuks, grand mosques, palaces, and caravanserais, left an indelible mark on the cities of Iran, Iraq, and Anatolia. In this synthesis of Turkic vigor and Persian refinement, the Seljuks crafted a civilization of lasting beauty and sophistication. Yet, as with all empires, the seeds of decline were sown in the midst of prosperity. The death of Malik Shah in 1092 plunged the empire into a succession crisis as rival claimants vied for the throne. The unity that had powered Seljuk expansion dissolved into fragmentation, and the once mighty empire splintered into regional states. The great Seljuks retained control of Persia, while the Sultanate of Rum arose in Anatolia. The Kerman Seljuks held sway in southeastern Iran, and smaller Seljuk principalities emerged in Syria. This disunity weakened the Seljuks' ability to respond to external threats and diminished their influence over the broader Islamic world. The fragmentation of the Seljuk realm coincided with one of the great upheavals of medieval history, the Crusades. In the late 11th century, European powers launched a series of military expeditions to reclaim Jerusalem and the Holy Land. The Seljuks, who had controlled Jerusalem prior to the First Crusade, found themselves divided and unable to mount a unified resistance. The Crusaders captured much of the Levant, carving out their own kingdoms and threatening the balance of power in the region. The Anatolian branch, the Sultanate of Rum, resisted the Crusader advance and played a key role in the ongoing struggle for dominance in Anatolia and Syria. However, internecine conflicts and shifting alliances further eroded Seljuk strength. As the centuries turned, new forces emerged to challenge Seljuk supremacy. The Mongols, sweeping westward from the Asian heartlands, unleashed devastation upon the Islamic world. In 1243, the Battle of Kosadah signaled the end of Seljuk independence in Anatolia, as the Sultanate of Rum became a vassal of the Mongol Empire. The Mongol invasions shattered the remnants of Seljuk power in Persia and Anatolia, leaving behind a landscape of shattered cities and fractured authority. In the wake of the Mongol onslaught, the Seljuk Empire faded into obscurity, replaced by a patchwork of small Turkish principalities known as beyliks. Among these emerged the Ottoman beylik, a modest state that would, in time, rise to become the most powerful empire in the Islamic world. The fall of the Seljuks was not the end, but a transformation. Their legacy lived on in the peoples, institutions, and cultures they had shaped. The impact of the Seljuk Turks upon the region was profound and enduring. Their victory at Manzikert and the subsequent migration of Turkish tribes laid the foundations for the Turkification of Anatolia, a process that would culminate in the emergence of the Turkish nation and the modern Republic of Turkey. The Seljuks' embrace and patronage of Persian culture spread the influence of Persian art, literature, and architecture across the Islamic world, enriching the civilizations that followed. The administrative and military reforms introduced by the Seljuks, the IQTA system, centralized bureaucracy, and disciplined armies, became models for later Islamic dynasties, including the Ottomans and Safavids. Perhaps most importantly, the Seljuks played a crucial role in the revival and consolidation of Sunni Islam. In an age when the Islamic world was divided between Sunni and Shia factions, the Seljuks emerged as champions of Sunni orthodoxy. Through their patronage of madrasas and religious scholars, they countered the influence of rival Shia dynasties, such as the Fatimids, and fostered a unified Sunni identity that would shape the religious landscape for centuries to come. Today, the legacy of the Seljuk Turks is visible not only in the ruins of ancient cities and the pages of history books, but in the enduring patterns of culture, religion, and statecraft throughout the Middle East and Central Asia. Their story is a testament to the power of migration, adaptation, and vision, a reminder that the course of history is often shaped by those who dare to journey beyond the horizon, to forge new paths in the world, and leave a lasting imprint upon the ages. From their humble origins as nomadic tribesmen on the steppes, to their rise as protectors of the caliphate and builders of empire, the Seljuks remain one of the great dynasties of medieval history. Their achievements, struggles, and innovations mark a turning point in the story of the Islamic world, bridging the age of the Abbasids and the Ottomans and reminding us of the enduring power of transformation, unity, and cultural synthesis.